He almost kept walking. He told himself it wasn't his business. He told himself the child's parents were probably close by. But something felt wrong, very wrong, because this little boy wasn't just crying, he was terrified. And the moment the man knelt beside him, he had no idea he was about to save an entire family. His name was David Rivera, 38 years old, a high school science teacher, not a hero, not a cop, not someone who searched for danger. He was simply a man trying to get home after a long day at work. It was late afternoon, the sky turning gold as he walked through the quiet neighborhood park on his usual shortcut. Children played on swings, teenagers threw frisbees, and parents chatted on benches. But there, near the path, sat a little boy about 6 years old. Knees pulled to his chest, crying into his hands. David slowed. He glanced around. No adults nearby. No one looking for a child. Something felt off. He approached carefully. "Hey, buddy, you lost?" The boy looked up with wide, tear-filled eyes. His voice trembled. "I can't find my mom." David's heart clenched. "What's your name?" "Eli," the boy whispered. "Okay, Eli. I'm David. I'm going to help you, okay?" Eli nodded, but his little body shook with fear. "Where did you last see her?" David asked gently. Eli pointed toward the far end of the park. "She was sitting on the bench, and then a man came, and they started yelling, and he burst into tears again, unable to finish. David's stomach tightened. Yelling? A stranger? This wasn't just a lost child. Something else had happened. David stood and scanned the park again. Still no sign of a frantic mother. No police. No one looking. He knelt again. "Eli, can you show me where it happened?" The boy nodded and wiped his eyes. He reached out, and without thinking, David took his hand. The walk to the bench took less than a minute, but the scene told a story before Eli said a word. A purse lay on the ground, its contents scattered. A coffee cup tipped over. A woman's scarf caught on the edge of the bench. David felt cold suddenly. "Eli, was your mom sitting right here?" Eli nodded aggressively. "She was, and a man grabbed her arm. She told me to run. So I did." David's heart hammered. This wasn't a domestic argument. This wasn't a misunderstanding. This was an abduction. Without panicking Eli, David kept his voice calm. "You did the right thing by running. You were very brave." He pulled out his phone and dialed 911. Within minutes, officers arrived. One stayed with Eli while the others questioned David. But something kept nagging at David, a detail Eli had said between sobs. The man, he had something shiny, like metal. I think he pushed it at her. A weapon. The police widened their search immediately. David stayed with the boy sitting on the bench. Eli clung to him like he was the only safe person in the world. "Do you know your mom's name?" David asked. "Her name is Lily," Eli whispered. "She works at the hospital. She's really nice." David smiled softly. "I'm sure she is, and I promise we're going to help her." Hours passed. The sun dipped below the trees. Police flashlights cut through the darkness. Still no sign of Eli's mother. David refused to leave. Even when officers told him it was okay to go home, he stayed. He couldn't abandon the boy. Not now. Finally, an officer approached. "We found something." David's stomach twisted. "What is it?" "A woman's ID badge. Name, Lily Martinez. Found near the service road behind the park." A service road, the one rarely used. The one that led to the old abandoned warehouse district. David stood up before he realized what he was doing. "Let me help," he said. "I'm not letting that boy lose his mother without a fight." The officers hesitated, but Eli grabbed David's hand tightly. "Please don't go." That was all the permission David needed. They drove to the warehouse district, a cold, shadowed place where broken windows reflected moonlight and silence felt heavy. Police spread out, searching every building. David stayed by the patrol car with Eli. But something felt wrong. Too slow, too wide, too blind. Eli tugged his sleeve. "David, I heard something." David crouched. "What did you hear?" "A sound like crying from that building." He pointed to the smallest warehouse, the one the officers hadn't searched yet. David swallowed hard. He wasn't trained for this, but he believed the child. He called to the nearest officer. Check that building. He heard something. Inside, the warehouse smelled of dust and old metal. The flashlight beams cut through the darkness. Then, a sound, soft, muffled. A woman crying. Eli gasped. That's Mommy! Officers rushed forward behind a stack of crates. They found her. Hands tied, mouth taped. Terrified, but alive. As soon as she saw Eli, her eyes filled with tears. Eli! Officers freed her, and she collapsed into her son's arms, sobbing. David felt warmth flood his chest. Relief. Joy. The miracle of a mother and son reunited. Lily looked up at David, trembling. You stayed with him? You helped him? David nodded gently. Your son is very brave. He led us to you. She reached for David's hand. Thank you. Thank you for saving us. Her voice cracked, not just with fear, but gratitude so deep it shook her whole body. Police later found the kidnapper hiding in the storage room. A man with a history of domestic violence, arrest warrants, and a violent obsession with Lily. She had once been kind to him at the hospital. He took her kindness the wrong way. He had planned to take her away, far away. But Eli running and David stopping changed everything. In the days that followed, Lily and Eli visited David to thank him properly. Eli ran down the hallway to hug him. You saved my mom. You saved me. David smiled, hugging him back. No, kiddo, you saved her. You were brave enough to run for help. Lily's eyes softened. You didn't have to stop that day, she said quietly. But you did. And because of that, we're still a family. David felt something warm fill his heart, a feeling he hadn't felt in years. Purpose, connection, meaning. He didn't just save a woman or a child. He saved a family that night. And in some quiet way, they saved him too. He stopped because a child was crying. He stayed because something felt wrong. And in doing so, he saved a mother, a son, and a family that almost vanished forever.